And now, Legal Insights with Gus Anastopoulo Law Firm.
Well, out of nowhere, an accident can turn life upside down. So where do you turn? Personal injury lawyers, like our guest, step in to level the playing field to make sure that victims get the compensation they deserve. Let's welcome back Gus Anastopoulo, attorney and founder of the Gus Anastopoulo Law Firm. Glad to have you back.
Thank you, Layla.
So I think a lot of people don't quite understand what a personal injury lawyer does. We've seen the commercials, we've seen the billboards, but maybe you can define it for us.
You know, Layla, after an accident, the insurance process, it moves fast. And really, it's not set up to work in your favor. So where we come in is we come in to level the playing field and ultimately make sure that your full story is told, and it's not just what's contained in the adjuster's file.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of things that take place at the time of an accident. Let's just say it's a car accident, for instance. You know, you could very well be filing a police report. You could be asked questions. And in those cases, just right now, what would you advise someone to do or not do?
You know, ultimately, that's really where cases are won or lost, right? It's the gathering and the preserving of evidence. You talked about police reports. You know, that's step one. That'd probably be the first place you want to start. But also, you know, making sure that the vehicles are preserved and inspected when appropriate to make sure that the data or what have you, pictures are taken from that. Yeah. Because those are critical as well. And then also, you know, surveillance cameras from nearby businesses. Mm-hmm. Evidence disappears fast. A lot of those cameras get overwritten. So it's important that you preserve and gather that evidence.
What are some of the myths about a personal injury attorney that you think you might want to dispel for our viewers?
You know, I would say the main one that I see is that I can't afford to hire a lawyer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that's, you know, after an injury, most people are not in that financial position to stroke a check to a lawyer. And so my firm and most personal injury firms operate on what's called a contingency basis. Mm-hmm. So you front no out-of-pocket expenses. We front all the costs. And we only get paid if there's recovery. Mm-hmm. And so if there is no recovery, you owe us nothing. So it really, it's a system that's designed to provide access to attorneys to people who ultimately can't afford them.
What about someone who says, oh, you know what, I can just do it myself?
You know, you can, right? But ultimately, this is a process that is, you know, you're juggling calls from insurance adjusters. You're dealing with medical appointments, medical debt, lost work. All of this while trying to learn mm-hmm. the process. And so it's overwhelming for a person. And frankly, the insurance companies count on that. Yeah. They count on you know, somebody that again, likely has never gone through that. So it's important to have somebody in your corner that has.
Absolutely. And do you find that insurance companies try to minimize injuries or potential injuries, or try to minimize or maximize your level of fault in the accident?
You know, the insurance company, that's the business they're in, right? You know, they're in the business of taking money and not necessarily giving it out. Right. And so, however they're going to do that, they're going to use that as an opportunity, and that doesn't make it right. Mm-hmm. And so that's why, you know, it's always important to, again, make sure that the full story is told, because that's ultimately what matters.
Yeah. You say to act fast. Are there any other mistakes that people make before they contact a personal injury attorney, or when they are seeking counsel that they've done things that maybe they shouldn't have done?
I would say the most common ones for that is, you know, they may give a recorded statement to an insurance company. Those questions are typically, you know, just, they're cheap questions. They're really set up to kind of box somebody into a corner. Mm-hmm. And the other one that you'll see is the insurance company will make you sign a medical release, and it's essentially you're handing over your full medical history, and they'll tell you, they'll make it really easy for you to sign. They'll send it over a text, and you can sign it. But really with that is they're just looking for anything they can find in your medical history to say, well, you know, you complained of back pain in 1988, and now you
Wow.
having back pain, so this wreck didn't happen.
Would you say that it probably would be a good idea to maybe have a personal injury attorney on speed dial? It's inevitable. We don't wish accidents on anybody, but it is inevitable, and maybe it would be a good idea to have someone already in your back pocket.
Layla, nobody wakes up perfectly healthy and says, today is a great day to call a personal injury lawyer.
Right.
But if that unfortunate scenario happens, you do want somebody in your corner that can guide you through the process to allow you to focus on healing. And so, if y'all ever need to have any questions, whether it's something we can assist on or not, it doesn't hurt to give us a call if you have an injury.
All right.
Our number is 843-310-5555.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gus.
Thanks,
Always a
Layla.
pleasure to talk with you. Stay safe out there, everyone. We'll be right back.
This has been Legal Insights with Gus Anastopoulo Law Firm.
They rejected our offer again? I hate Gus!
Hey, I'm Gus, and when I started my firm, I had one goal: doing right by my clients. No shortcuts, no excuses, just real results for injured South Carolinians. The insurance companies know our reputation. I'd hate me too if I were them, but I'm not worried about them. When you hire me, it's Gus versus them, and we let the results do the talking. When you need a lawyer, ask yourself, who do you want on your side?